He's a jewelry thief for a reason, so I expect that.
Short and sweet, but Keanu Benton isn't wrong. Anytime John Torchio gets his hands on the ball, he's thinking about making a house call. The jewelry thief led the team in tackles, picked off 2 passes, and more importantly, redeemed himself after coming up a yard short from a pick 6 against Purdue last season.
Coach Leonard just tossed me the oop. I mean, perfect play call. When they went in motion, I knew exactly what they were running. So it's just a matter of don't be too early. Let him throw it, just jump in front.
He's got such high football IQ, understands our scheme, understands offenses and how they attack, and then you add on top of that the timing. You know, it's not every safety has that.
That performance earned Torch Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week honors, and it was one he needed after last week, Jim.
Yeah, Torchio was very critical of his own play in the Michigan State game. He knew he'd missed some things, some missed tackles, some misguided coverage things, and I think he wanted to bounce back. He bounced back early, made a couple big plays that gave this team momentum when it really needed it on Saturday. A big bounce back game for him. He's now among the leaders in the nation in interceptions.
Wisconsin couldn't have asked for a better start to the game. A 6-play, 75-yard opening drive touchdown, followed by a John Torchio pick 6. Not even 4 minutes in, the Badgers are up 14-0. They'd get the ball back after a missed field goal and go 80 yards on 8 plays to take a 21-point lead, and it was pretty much all over from there.
That's what you hope every week, right? It's not always that clean, but I think the energy, the attention to detail early in the game, just doing your job and finishing plays.
We punched them in the mouth to start, and then we came back and did it again second half. That's kind of something we couldn't do, the first few games. But this week we started strong and we finished strong.
21-point lead after 1 quarter. It got up to 25 in the second half. They started fast, but like Peterson said, Jim, they finished something this group has struggled with.
Yeah, and 35-24's final score is not indicative of really how dominant UW was in this game. I thought there were 2 key points in that game. You mentioned the opening drive and the Torchio interception that made it 14-0. I thought it was just important that Wisconsin came back with a strong second drive on offense and went in and scored and made it 21-0. And then late in the first half, it was 21-3. The offense was kind of struggling. There was a chance for Purdue to grab some momentum heading back into halftime, and Andy Vunovich pinned Purdue deep in his own territory, really spoiled any chance of putting together a drive there. And Wisconsin went into halftime on a good note and came out in the second half on a good note.
And still to come, rest and relaxation. Well, after 8 games and a coaching change, the bye week came at a perfect time for Wisconsin. More Badger Blueprint after the break.
I know he'll give me some practices off. I don't know. Not hitting for a couple days. My body, gotta get my body back.
It's always a good time for a bye week, but this couldn't have come at a better time for the Badgers. 8 games in, and Wisconsin is all dinged up all over the place. It's a time for the workhorses to relax and rest their bodies and minds, as well as a week for the guys close to returning to get a couple more practices in. And the goal this week is simple: get healthy for the final stretch.
We're beat up. I mean, everybody's got something or a few things. So yeah, it'll be a really good week just to get guys get healthy.
Bye weeks are great. You need them. You need one. Just 8 games straight. It's a lot. So for us, a lot of us, we just gotta get our bodies right.
This bye week couldn't have come at a better time. The Badgers need to get rest, and Jim Leonard gets to have some conversations about the future.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting in the postgame that Jim Leonard brought that up, that a lot of people have been asking him questions, and this is finally a week where he can kind of sit back, take a deep breath, and start answering some of those questions about what happens if he gets this job full-time. I think he's kind of got a vision of where he wants to go. It's not official yet by any means, but I think he's going to start explaining his process and his ideas this week to some of the players and maybe even the coaching staff.
Always good to head into a week off on a high note, and that's exactly what the Badgers did after knocking off the Boilermakers. The win not only got Wisconsin back to 500 and was Leonard's first home win as interim head coach, but it gave them confidence and showed maybe what this team envisioned they could be.
Everyone, I think, in the back of my mind, like, win out, win out, win out. But to put a win and put a game like that on field and on paper and go watch it tomorrow and see, damn, we did that, definitely helps.
We know we're a good team, but at the end of the day, when you come out and have a performance against a good team and, you kind of take it to them, that's something you can hopefully build momentum off of, and that's what we're looking to do.
As Leonard says, now do it again, and with games against Maryland, Nebraska, Iowa, and Minnesota, Jim, how many more times do you think this group does it again?
You look at that schedule and they're all winnable, right? I also think all of them are losable. I think if we see the Purdue version of Wisconsin, that four-quarter game, especially that first quarter, they can win out. I just think this team's been so consistently inconsistent all season, and that's why I don't see them winning any more than 3. So I say 3-1 down the stretch.
Now, I've been wrong about this team 3 of the last 4 weeks, but a week to get healthy, I think this group will do it again, like you said, at least 3 more times. They're going to become bowl eligible and close out this season on a high note. And that's it for this week's Badger Blueprint. Thanks for watching.